Welcome back. On this historic and controversial day in American history, it is perhaps appropriate to look back at other significant events and memorable personalities from this nation's past. Consider this lesson, courtesy of high school history teacher and author Jeremy Adams. Here's 17's Bob Price.
Jeremy Adams has been teaching Bakersfield High School students for more than a quarter of a century. Now with his latest book, he's willing to teach the rest of us some lessons. Lessons in Liberty. That's the title of the latest nonfiction book from the adjunct professor and occasional political pundit whose BHS government classes have entertained and enlightened a generation of local students. Lessons in Liberty, published by a HarperCollins imprint, profiles 10 extraordinary Americans, but in a unique way, with a unique purpose. It reveals some of the rules for living that these 10 men and women brought to the fore through their words and especially their deeds. The book's featured patriots are George Washington, Daniel Inouye, Clara Barton, Thomas Jefferson, Arthur Ashe, Abraham Lincoln, Ben Nighthorse Campbell, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, James Madison, and Theodore Roosevelt. Why this lesson? Because we need it right now.
This country is the exception to the rule of human history. Democracy is not the rule. Prosperity is not the rule. Individual rights, free markets, private property, the Bill of Rights, these things are anomalies in human history. And if we're going to have a country, if we're going to renew these things, then we have to follow the habits and the behaviors of the people who created these institutions in the first place.
Habits and behaviors like that of the late Daniel Inouye, U.S. Senator from Hawaii, a Democrat admired and respected by Republican colleagues because he was, first and foremost, a patriot and an American.
Here's a man who watched Pearl Harbor happen. He was a second-generation Japanese American, wanted to fight for his country, and he was told no. And he wanted to do that at a time when, if you had a reason to be mad at your country, literally Japanese Americans were being rounded up and put in concentration camps. And this is a lesson I wish young people would understand. A country doesn't have to be perfect to be loved. A patriot doesn't wait for perfection. They do it themselves. They use their liberty to make it better, and Daniel Inouye did that in his whole life.
Lessons in Liberty is available at Russo's Books and through most of the usual booksellers. If Adams sells 3,000 books in this first week since its Tuesday publication, he makes the New York Times bestseller list. Lessons in Liberty might feature some important historical figures, but it's not a history book. It's a life lesson book, so says Bakersfield's newest author. In Bakersfield, Robert Price, 17 News.